actually, so I know it's Tuesday, and then I usually do my videos on Wednesday, but I'm pretty sure last time I did my video on like a Monday or something, so it doesn't even matter anymore. Rules are arbitrary, we're all gonna die, who cares? Yeah, so, yeah, I'm making a video today instead of tomorrow because I've got tech rehearsal tomorrow, and I've got, like, my last day of classes. Not really. It's my second to last day of class. My last day of classes are on Thursday. But it's my last day of classes for my section of Monday, Wednesday classes. I've got a bunch of stuff due tomorrow, and I'm thinking a video would probably not happen tomorrow, so I'm making a video tonight. That was a really long explanation. I am sorry. I think in general, I'm going to probably start making videos either on Monday or Tuesday, because by Wednesday, it's like the middle of the week, and there's craziness going on, and your life has already fallen apart. But if you make the video on Monday or Tuesday, there's less of a chance that your life is a disaster on Monday or Tuesday than Wednesday. So from now on, possibly, might be switching to Tuesdays-ish. So, in your last video, I think you said that you wanted more on typography, possibly? With the article thing, I'm going to do some explanation, then I'm going to do some explanation. Like, I'm going to do some little basic stuff, and then, yeah, never mind. Yeah. So, this is the article that I talked about last week, and it's called Analyzing the Semiotic Potential of Typographic Resources in Picture Books in English and in Translation. It's a article from a research journal on children's literature, and it's basically just talking about typography and its different communicative functions and evaluative functions in children's literature, specifically in a book called Stuck by Oliver Jeffers. Stuck is about a little boy who is flying his kite, and he gets it stuck up in a tree, and he throws some stuff to try to get the kite out, and then he throws a shoe or something, and then in order to try to get his shoe out, which is now stuck in the tree, he throws, like, his cat or something, and then his cat gets stuck up in the tree, and then he just starts throwing increasingly more, ridiculous things up in the tree till he's throwing, like, the lighthouse up in the tree, and a whale up in the tree, and it's ridiculous. And within, this article, they're talking about the 3 typographic functions, communicative functions, of, typography. I think I said that badly. But anyway, the 3 functions are ideational, interpersonal, and textual. Yes, I'm looking at the article to tell you this. So, the ideational function of typography is to convey, like, actions and qualities within the word. And then, interpersonal function within typography is the typography that helps with connections between characters, between 2 characters, or between a character and an object. It's the interpersonal relations of the content within the story and how typography conveys that. And then the textual function of typography is just to convey emphasis of something, and is literally just conveyed through the text. Like, if a word is capitalized or, like, in all caps or italics or something, that's the textual function of typography. So, the ideational meaning, which again is, like, it refers to actions or qualities. The ideational meaning is found through that concept I was talking about last week about homospatiality, in which, like, the word loose is going to be non-connective, non-cursive letters in order to show that the word loose looks loose. It's that type of thing. It's that concept. That's the ideational, in which you're conveying the action or the quality of the words. So you can see the textual meaning of the typography as the story continues. Like, you don't really see much textual usage in the beginning of the story when the little boy, whose name is Floyd, starts out and he just throws his shoe up in the tree to try to get it down, and it's smaller and smaller. But then as Floyd's frustration increases throughout the story, the textual function gets larger, so that they start using, you know, bold letters and capital letters and half capitalized. So, like, at one point he says something like, and unbelievably, that got stuck too, but only the first half of the word unbelievably is capitalized. So, the textual function within this story is, it increases as the story goes on, because the emphasis that they want to put on the words increases as Floyd's frustration increases. So the second idea that the authors try to convey after they finish talking about the ideational and the textual and the interpersonal functions of typography is that they want to convey this idea of evaluative language. Evaluative, that thing, language. And the typographic choices they make, well, that the author of the book Stuck makes, they can be broken down into 3 different categories, and that's the emotions, the propriety, and the quality of the actions or objects within the story. And so the 3 main ones that they're talking about of these 3 categories, emotions, propriety, and the quality of actions, are affect, judgment, and appreciation. And affect in typography will tell us whether, like, the character is happy or sad, or satisfied or dissatisfied, or secure or insecure, and so it just shows, like, polarized emotions. That's what affect in typography is. And you see that mostly in Stuck, it's negative affect, and it's used to show Floyd's increasing annoyance as the story goes on. Like at one point, as he continues to throw the stuff up in the tree, he's getting more and more annoyed, and in all caps letters it says, "This was getting ridiculous," and that's to convey the negative affect. So the second one after affect is judgment, and the most common form of judgment that we see in Stuck that Oliver Jeffers used is judgment of propriety. By the way, Google Docs says that's not a word, but it is. But anyway, judgment of propriety, and that's when the author is assessing the good sense of the character's actions. So and we see that as he's as the author is saying all the stuff about Floyd. This is getting ridiculous. He's throwing all this stuff up in the tree. I don't want to stop the video. I'm just going to keep going. We can see that the author is making a judgment of propriety on Floyd, and that's another example of evaluative language. I don't like that word. The third part of evaluative language is appreciation. I got this. Appreciation is the last form, and it applies to the impact or quality of a non-human object during the story, and how that object will affect the main character. So, for example, at one point, Floyd throws his favorite shoe up in the tree, and it says in all capital letters, his favorite shoe, which shows us that this is significant quality, because, like, as the authors of the article point out, it's not his school shoe or his sports shoe, but it's his favorite shoe. So, the third type of evaluative language, appreciation, shows us Floyd's appreciation for his favorite shoe, and it's important to note that it says his favorite shoe specifically. Yeah, I've literally been rambling for like 10 minutes more. Have I said anything that makes sense? Anyway, my thoughts are starting to get really scattered, and I'm starting to wonder if this video is going to be any sort of quality at all. I hope it is. I mean, it's going to be some sort of quality. It's going to be bad quality. But I hope it's not. It's going to be. Anyway, the last bit of the article talks about the Spanish translation of the book Stuck, and it doesn't really talk a lot about that, and I think that was kind of a flaw in the article, because, it's the title of the article is something English and in translation, and then they spend like 2 pages of this 30-page article talking about the Spanish translation. So I thought that was a flaw. But basically what they said about the translation is that it was kind of shoddy work. It wasn't really well done. The typographic, the care put into the typography was not good. They didn't use typography to convey all those things I was just talking about judgment and affect and appreciation and all the communicative functions that you use for typography, like the ideational and the interpersonal and the textual and all that. And they didn't do that very well in the Spanish translation. That's basically all the article said about that. I was like, well, kind of sucked. And I was like, okay. And, but yeah, overall, really, really great article. And that's that. I swear that my 6 or 7 or 8 page research paper, however long it is a lot more organized than that several minutes of rambling I just did. Or at least we hope so. If not, my grade is just gonna plummet in this class, so I hope it was more organized than this thing I've just done. Okay, as a side note, before I go, I just wanted to say that I realized that it's like, what's today? December 1st, and that means it's, well, I mean, my finals are next week, but your finals aren't for a couple weeks. Anyway, I realized that, like, everything's wrapping up, and it's gonna be crazy, so if you literally cannot make a video at all for the next 3 weeks or whatever, don't sweat it. It's all good. Yeah, so just don't worry about it at all. Okay, I hope the cornfields are treating you well, and I will see you soon. Yeah, Christmas break is pretty soon. I'll see you soon. Bye!